And across Atlanta, many plan to exercise that First Amendment right tonight.
Atlanta News First reporter Mary-Kate Hamilton joins us live from the Georgia State Capitol, where another rally is planned for this evening. And Mary-Kate, you spoke with one of the organizers earlier today.
I did, and she tells me that for her, what happened yesterday was a wake-up call. She says if it happened in Minneapolis, it could happen anywhere, including here in Georgia. And she says that's why tonight they'll be taking on the state capitol.
ICE will not tell the truth about what they have done.
Tonight will mark the second night of protests in Atlanta.
People are rightly outraged.
All across the country, activism groups are calling on Americans to speak out against what they call the unjust murder of Renee Good and the undue power of immigrations and customs enforcement. The video of Good being shot and killed by an ICE agent overtook social media Wednesday. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says Good was using her car as a weapon. Protesters disagree.
This was a cold-blooded murder. I think the video evidence is abundantly clear that this was not about self-defense. This was a legal observer observing ICE carry out raids of terror.
Organizer Addison Clapp says tonight's protest is about more than just justice for Renee Good. They also want ICE out of American cities.
ICE does not belong in any of our communities. They come in, they are masked thugs. They have to wear masks because they are afraid.
Tonight's rally, called the Stop ICE Terror Rally, is scheduled for 7 o'clock tonight at the Georgia State Capitol.
But public opinion, when it's passive, doesn't do anything. People need to do something about it. People need to make noise. If you're not in the streets, you're not visible.
Now, we have reached out to State Capitol Police to ask if they have any additional security enforcements in place for tonight, but we have yet to hear back. Reporting from the State Capitol, Mary-Kate Hamilton, Atlanta News First.